Something that I've been running into lately is it is surprisingly hard, and I don't really know why. I don't know if it's resistance to the idea or if it's genuinely not being able to comprehend based on other people's lived experiences. But, like, people do not understand um, when you're, like, just really alone in your life. And, um, and I think when I try to talk about it, they hear lonely, maybe they hear isolated, or whatever. And I'm over here knowing that every person that I have cared about or relied on in my life, including my mother, including every man that I've been in love with, including all of the best friends that I've had over the years, I have had to give up on them, and half the time tell them to their face that I'm giving up on them as a person or as a friend or whatever, and walk away from them and walk into being alone instead of dealing with that. And that's the kind of alone that I have. I do not have family. I do not have friends. I do not have loved ones that are people, anyway. And people just, like, do not understand that. And they don't understand, like, how it affects your view and your usage of your own time. And also, just closeness is very difficult. Closeness is very challenging and triggering, and I don't know, like, I'm glad that a lot more people have it in mind that, like, people need to be more community forward and talk to their neighbors and all that stuff. And I'm seeing improvements. I'm seeing, just like out in the wild, out when I'm in the city, just strangers on the street, like, I do see that getting better, and that is reassuring. But I'm also to a point, like, in my personal life that it's like I started a job, and it's gonna check all the boxes that I needed to check. But, like, there had also been hope that it was going to be more than that and more substantial and meaningful than that. And but when all the employees who are willing to, like, take initiative and willing to, like, address problems meaningfully get left on red, then there's only so much you can fucking do with that. So it's like, and also, oh my fucking god, there is this personality type that has gotten a lot more popular and has been spreading like a fucking disease. The last few years, it's gotten so much worse the last couple of years. It was originally just women who are doing this, and now it's, like, pretty much everyone who wants to act like that. But it's the spoiled little girl mentality of the whole, like, I can't stand up under the weight of my own convictions, and so I'm going to take the highest emotional bidder that comes through to make it convenient for me, and I'll just fucking fold, and then I'll never fucking address that, like, those were my convictions, or, like, have a fucking backbone, or, I will crumble up and die if anyone tells me that I'm wrong about anything, and so I have to find someone else to blame for literally anything that might possibly be, contributed to me negatively, instead of, like, being a fucking adult who knows how to fix problems and even, like, has that anywhere in their personality of, like, fixing a problem, of, like, owning when you're wrong. Shit like that is just I cannot stand up under the weight of my own convictions, and everything is someone else's fault, and I will not be accountable. And it's just like, If I could just suck all of that kind of personality out of everyone that I've known who has it, and if I could just put it all into like one face, like just one nondescript, I would fucking beat that face with a fucking shovel until it did not resemble a fucking face anymore. Until it was not a fucking problem for me or for anyone else anymore. Like, I would do that in a fucking heartbeat. Anyway, so it's been disappointing. It's been fucking disappointing out here. And then just like on a more like personal note, it's so hard for me to let people into my life, even though like I'm getting to a point where I would like a relationship. I would like to be considering a relationship. I want to have some closer ties and stronger bonds in my life and with other people that's mutual aid and that's caring in a real way. And but I feel like I'm just like back. I feel like I found myself in the same theme that I'm always in. And like what really kind of came through really clearly in my head today was just the thought of I am so tired of accepting these scraps that people are willing to give me and having to act grateful about it. I am so tired. And it's just to the point that it's like I don't want it anymore. It's like I don't even want to try to like deal with being close with anybody anymore. And because I'm done living on scraps. But that's all that anyone around me has. It's a weird place to be.